What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Sportskeeda MMA's daily news roundup for March 14th. Conor McGregor recently gave a positive update about his injury. Last year, McGregor suffered a combined fracture of the fibula and tibia in his trilogy fight with Dustin Poirier at UFC 264. On Twitter, McGregor stood in his doctor's office wearing an alabaster pink Prada polo shirt and said this: "Great day at the doctor's today, team. Everything back on schedule. Thank you all for the love and support. Stay ready." McGregor kept the hype going with this tweet that says, "Getting ready for some power pad work in the sunshine with Coach Raj and my masseuse Dr. Payne, Vasil." He was even tuned in for UFC Fight Night last Saturday, where he offered his praises to Khalil Roundtree's vicious finish over Carl Robertson. He said this: "A lovely timed soccer kick to the body of a downed opponent. A much underutilized legal strike. Nice to see some fresh innovation again in there, instead of the usual garbage we see over and over." If McGregor gets cleared to fight soon, he may be able to do something about Jake Paul, who's been going back and forth with the Irishman on Twitter. It started with Jake Paul criticizing McGregor's boxing in a promo video. "This is embarrassing," at the Notorious MMA. "Your chin wide open with no head movement for the problem child right hand of God." McGregor then countered in this clip. Then Jake Paul used Conor's jackass line and turned it into a surreal reply. It seems like Paul is hyping up a potential fight with McGregor, even tweeting a proposition to Uncle Dana. "Dana, since you like me now, how about a one-fight UFC deal to fight Conor? If I win, you agree to my UFC fighter pay and healthcare proposal. If I lose, I donate my entire purse to all UFC fighters who make less than $50K a fight, and never mention UFC again. Deal?" Jake Paul made his boxing debut in 2020 against YouTuber Anderson Gibb, and has since scored knockout victories over former MMA champions Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley. Do you think a Jake Paul vs. Conor McGregor main event would ever happen? Henry Cejudo has been making headlines recently, from his gassy exchanges with Conor McGregor to now setting his sights on a UFC return, but only for the right price. In a recent interview with MMA Junkie, Cejudo had a few things to say about wanting a payday to come back. "They can see me back when they show me the money. That's when you guys can see me back. The money better be worth my legacy. An Olympic champ, 2-division belt holder, nobody has my resume. Give me Holloway, give me Alexander the Average, give me that ugly potato-faced Petr Yan. I want them all." He then added, "I love everything I've done. I don't gotta prove shit to nobody. I want a stack full of money. I'm not saying this to start a union. What I'm saying is pay me. If you guys want me to fight, stop dodging me and pay me." When asked if fans would see him back in the octagon, Cejudo targeted Dana White. "I don't think so. I think the way that things are going, I think I talk too much shit. I think I picked on Dana a little too much, that he's just not gonna pay me. And I've accepted that." Do you think Henry Cejudo could ever come to an agreement with Dana White? Paddy Pimblett is set to make his sophomore appearance in the octagon at UFC London on March 19th. Pimblett is coming off a vicious KO debut over Luigi Vendramini last year, and looks to keep steamrolling the lightweight division, and he's extremely confident he will do so. In an interview with BT Sport, Pimblett gave his thoughts on his upcoming fight with Kazula Vargas. "I know I'm going to absolutely school this kid on March 19th, and become even more of a global superstar than I already am. I can't wait to get back in the cage. It's been too long. September 4th, March 19th, it's a bit of a layoff. But the amount that I've come on in them 6 months, the training I've done, I've added Taekwondo into me game now." He then added, "Yous are gonna see an even different version of me. People think they know me. People think they know me from the last fight. Lad, I'm a complete new animal again. People forget I'm only 27, but I'm still getting better every fight camp, especially when I take 6 months out." Pimblett even posted this on Instagram, ensuring fans that they are in for a new Paddy the Baddy this Saturday. 5 days till I'm back in the scales in even better shape. Do you think Paddy Pimblett deserves a ranked opponent with a win this Saturday? Kamaru Usman recently fired at Khamzat Chimaev at a public Q&A right before UFC 272. Usman was asked about Chimaev's upcoming fight with Gilbert Burns, and if Chimaev was deserving of a title shot with a win, and he had this to say: "Well, I mean, this guy hasn't even fought in the top 10. He hasn't even beat anyone yet." Khamzat Chimaev would then go off to defend his strength of schedule, and even make comparisons to the former light heavyweight champion Jon Jones. Chimaev is currently 10-0 in his professional career, 4-0 in the UFC, all of them finishes. In a recent video from the Mac Life, Chimaev had this to say: "Who did like go in the cage, 10 fights, 10 finishes? The guys tell me like, oh, he didn't fight this guy, he didn't fight that guy. But the guys who's the best guys, Jon Jones, his first 4 fights in the UFC, he get the punch. I didn't get the punch." He then added, We don't say his first fights he didn't get the best ones. The guys, like super good guys. Nobody. Conor didn't get that. Crazy good guys in their first fights. Nobody. Habib didn't get crazy good guys. I just need the time. Well, Chimaev will get his time. 15 minutes to defeat the number 2 ranked Gilbert Burns at UFC 273 in less than a month. Do you think Kamaru Usman will turn down a fight against Khamzat Chimaev due to his lack of experience against top contenders? And last but not least, Ali Abdelaziz recently spoke to Helen Yee prior to the Eagle FC event last Friday and made sure to mention many of the fighters under his management, including Marvin Vettori, who's set to fight Robert Whittaker at UFC 275. Abdelaziz confirmed the matchup and had this to say: Marvin the Dream Vettori, the future UFC champion, will fight Robert Whittaker and will dethrone Robert Whittaker. I'm gonna tell you something. I have never met a young man who is more motivated, inspired, and works harder than Marvin Vettori. I think where Marvin Vettori is mentally, he cannot be beaten, and he's gonna do a little training in Dagestan. Maybe going to the homeland of lightweight goat Khabib Nurmagomedov wouldn't be the worst idea to deal with Bobby Knuckles' championship pedigree. Vettori is confident, however, that he will get to the top again. One by one, I'm gonna take all the best fighters in the world out. I said so and will do so. Hashtag the Italian dream. But both Vettori and Whittaker are chasing a trilogy fight with the current middleweight champ Israel Adesanya, who holds 2 victories apiece over both men. That about does it for Sportskeeda MMA's most exciting news from the MMA world. Here is one final question for you fight fans. Do you think Marvin Vettori will train with Khabib and his camp in Dagestan? What are the odds that Vettori uses a Dagestani handcuff on Whittaker? Don't forget to subscribe and follow Sportskeeda MMA on all our social media platforms. Thanks for tuning in.